Hey drummers, hope you're doing well. Shout out to superstar channel member Jeff who's working on this. This is the chorus groove from a song called Godspeed Rebel by the Trews. It's a lovely, great tune to play along to, but that's kind of not almost the important thing of this little video. It's about playing this beautiful offbeat feel on the hi-hat and getting some funky bass drums to work against this. This is the sort of thing you might see, I'd say around grade 3, grade 4, something like that. So at the heart of this beat, if we take the basic version, the kick plays 1 and 3 and the snare plays 2 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So a classic rock or pop type of feel. But the key thing here is the hi-hat plays on the off beats, that's on the ands. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that's your start point for this one, sitting on that. 1. But then it gets a bit funky. So you've got this kind of almost like hip hop feel. Boom. Working against that offbeat hi-hat. So let's take it nice and slow. One of the things you could do here is you could build it up in stages. If you do that, I would say play the basic version. For stage 1, and then stage 2 you'd probably play 1, 2 and 3, 4. So So as ever, all depends where you're at with your drumming, doesn't it? How long you've been playing, how comfortable you are with that sort of coordination. That could be a good second step. And then the third step would be the full groove. I would say the key moment is this. This bit at the start, 1 and a kick, hi-hat kick. So you're playing a kick on beat 1, the hi-hat on the and then a kick straight after on what you might call the of beat 1, 1 and before the big snare drum on beat 2. So you could just run that moment, and as ever, make friends with that, fall in love with that bit of coordination, run that program over and over, get to know it. 1 and a 2, 1 and a 2, 1 and a 2. That's the big moment, I'd say, and that comes back in the second half of the bar. I'll roll the whole bar now, nice and slow. 1 and a 2 and 3 and a 4. And now we'll pick it up slightly. Quicker. In the end, on one particular video I found online where they're playing like on Zoom during lockdown, drummer Chris Gormley is also seems to add some little ghosted notes in on the snare drum as well. And like drummers do, just sort of playing around with it a little bit. But that's the basic idea. Really interesting. Now, this is a whole world of playing grooves. I would say that offbeat hi-hat thing, which, I don't know, in my experience playing the drums, we don't just pull out of nowhere, we build up to. A few years ago now, I think, a while back now, I did 2 sets of videos about playing offbeat hi-hat grooves with some basic sort of grade 1, grade 2 type of grooves, and then moving on to these slightly more funky grade 3, grade 4. The big difference with the grade 3, grade 4 being that the bass drums drop sort of in between the hi-hats more, and on the offbeat 16ths more, on the E's and the U's more. So I'll link to those videos below. Feel free to check those out and work your skills up. Very often when people are trying to put these grooves together and they're not quite flowing yet, they say phrases like, I'm struggling with this. Any tips? I find this hard. Any tips? Or I'm all right when the hi-hat's on the beat. When it's off the beat, I find it harder. And that's all those things are fine. I think it's always worth saying over and over again that when you're learning the drums, and especially when you're learning new stuff, like there'll be challenging things. There'll be bits where it's not like tips that you need. It's like just building these things up, working them up over time. And that's a really, really important point. So I would go back to those videos. If this is quite new to you, go back to those videos, just build these skills up a little bit. Even just sitting, playing the basic version of the groove, right? Like if that's new, just sit with that for a little bit, get to know it, get a feel for it. And like I said, a good secondary stage could be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And that age-old bit of classic drum practice that we all have to do at times, where you talk yourself through it. Bass drum on its own, hi-hat on its own, snare drum on its own, hi-hat and bass. Like have the notation. And by the way, as ever, on the channel members page just now, I'll post the notation, and for each of these like 3 versions, and a practice along version as well that you can hit play on, slow down, just talk yourself through it. Like I think, again, something I go on about a lot on this channel, but I think it's so important, is that distinction between performance mode and like learning or development mode. And I think what we all try and do so much is we try to just jump into performance mode. We try to just play stuff, and that can work if we're experienced enough and have the skills in place. Of course, that can work. But if we don't, then that's totally cool. We just have to go into that beautiful development mode. We have to show that humility. We have to kind of accept that we can't currently execute this thing, but that's cool, and we'll work our way up to it. So I'll post, like I say, on the channel members page just now, notation for all 3 versions of this, and the practice along version as well. You can hit play on, slow down, just groove along with, get to know it. Final version one time again. I'll slow it down. Picking it up. Like I say, really cool sort of hip hop thing with the bass drum and the snare drum, and then that offbeat hi-hat is the thing. So shout out to Jeff and the amazing Chris Gormley, who played drums on that. It's a really nice drum part. Like I say, it's only the chorus that goes to that offbeat feel. I'll link to the tune below. Feel free to have a jam along with it. It's a really nice one. Again, to repeat, if you're not there with this groove yet, that's totally cool. Work your way up to it. I've got 2 previous videos that sort of explore this idea of offbeat hi-hat grooves and working those up. And as ever, channel members, shout out to all the amazing channel members who support this channel. You find the notation and a practice along version over on the channel members page now. If becoming a channel member sounds like it might be for you, details and sign up below. You get a whole load of things, including, like I said there, the supporting materials for these videos, but also personalized for you practice plan updated as you progress, access to Zoom and face-to-face sessions. People say, are you available for lessons? Yes, that's how you do it. You become a channel member and you book in. The first session is complimentary, 30-minute complimentary session as a new channel member. You get ongoing drum support by email and video message, feedback on your drumming, and I'll be there for you on hand to help you develop. I'll do my best to anyway. Thanks as always for watching. I really appreciate it. Have some fun with that. So link below to the track, which I wasn't aware of. I hadn't heard this band before, but they sound really good. And the notation and practice along version. Thanks for watching as always. See you soon. Cheers.